Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first second take of the spring semester. I'm Matt Parmesano, and I'm here with
Darren Eastman,
Desert Grooms,
and Demetrius Dillard.
On today's episode, we'll give our Super Bowl picks, discuss the rise of Cam Newton, and whether the Golden State Warriors can break the NBA record for wins in a regular season. Let's get started.
Super Bowl 50 features a matchup between Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers and Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Which team do you think will take home the Lombardi Trophy?
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I just can't bet against Cam Newton right now. I think that offense and him are just too hot. Even though the Broncos have the #1 defense in the league, the Panthers have the #1 scoring offense. So I'm going to have to go with the Panthers. Also, Peyton Manning's getting older, so he can't do what he used to be able to do. And I think the Panthers' defense will be able to capitalize on some of that. Peyton, even though he only played 10 games this year, he led the league in interceptions with 17. Panthers led the league in turnovers. I think that that's going to play itself out. The Panthers will get some turnovers that'll be big in the game. And Cam will capitalize on them and put them in the end zone, and the Panthers will take it.
I'm going to go Carolina, too. I feel like the Panthers' defense is too much for Peyton Manning. They'll shut the running game down, forcing Peyton Manning to pass the ball, which he's not very good at today. I feel like the Panthers' defense will shut down the Broncos' offense, forcing a blowout.
It won't be a blowout. It's going to be a close game. It may be a 3-point game, or at most 7. I would say 7-point game in favor of the Carolina Panthers. But like I say, the Denver Broncos, they have a brutal defense. It's 2 elite defenses playing, so it's going to be a great game. It won't be a blowout. I don't think it will. No, it won't be like last game, 49-15. But Carolina, they have too many weapons offensively and defensively. And the only weapons I've seen thus far from the Denver Broncos squad is defensive, because obviously they're ranked #1. And Darren brought out a statistic earlier. They average 31 points per game. So they've established themselves as a premier offensive team, and it's no team that can see them. They're almost untouchable.
So you fellas going 3-0. Lord, I wish I could be kind of different, but I'm going to Carolina Panthers too. I'm riding with this one. And here's why. The Denver Broncos haven't faced a quarterback just like Cam Newton yet. The only scrambling quarterback, if you want to say, is probably Alex Smith. And Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos early this year, 29-13. Alex Smith had a decent game. He had 204 passing yards. He had a touchdown, but he still won. Nobody has seen anything just like Cam Newton. The Broncos are really good at creating pressure. But this game will not be just like the New England game. It's not just a pocket quarterback with Tom Brady just sitting back there and passing. The Denver Broncos can't just rush it. Carolina Panthers are #1 rush team in the league. If you rush the quarterback too hard, Cam Newton could just scrum right by you, because Denver Broncos are known for playing a straight-up man defense. If you just sit back, Cam Newton could just sit back in there and sit in the pocket and just throw it to his receivers, Philly Brown, Ted Ginn Jr., or Jericho Cotchery. He got to pick his poison. So Carolina Panthers have a whole lot of different options right now. Also, Carolina Panthers have max protection. So just getting to Cam Newton in the first place is hard. So I feel like the matchup to watch is Denver Broncos defense and the Carolina Panthers offense. And I got the Carolina Panthers winning sort of like the Seattle Seahawks did a couple years ago against the Denver Broncos in a blowout fashion in Super Bowl 50.
I mean, this is the #1 defense, of course. Now, I don't know what the final score was to the New England-Denver game. Did any of y'all remember from last Sunday?
22-20.
So they barely. But Tom Brady, he doesn't bring to the table what Cam Newton does, obviously. Cam Newton's a dual-threat quarterback, so he's going to give them obviously more problems, but I
think it is going to be a blowout, because when the Panthers can force turnovers, which I think they will against Peyton Manning, who led the league in interceptions, like I said, when they do that, like they did against the Cardinals, they blow teams out. And the Cardinals have a better offense than the Broncos. I'm not scared of the Broncos' offense at all against the Panthers' defense. I just don't think, they can't really run the ball either. And Peyton can't throw the ball down the field. I don't even think he can throw it more than 30 yards anymore. So I'm not worried about the Broncos against the Panthers at all. I think the Panthers take this one home, win by about 2 touchdowns.
I believe the first quarter will say a lot. The Carolina Panthers score averages over 31 points a game in the regular season. Number one in NFL and NFL playoffs, they're number one, averaging 40 points a game. So I feel like the first couple possessions will mean a lot. The Denver Broncos has to keep up with the Carolina Panthers. We know they both have great defenses, but can the Denver Broncos score with the Carolina Panthers? And I don't think they can.
If there's no offensive effectiveness or productivity from the Broncos, then it may be a blowout because Carolina, as we've seen all season, is strong on both sides of the field.
So we got 4-0 Carolina Panthers over here.
All right.
Let's
move on to the next question.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to see how everything plays out. But on to our next topic. Cam Newton is quickly becoming the face of the NFL, but has been criticized by certain people for dancing after touchdowns and his on-field behavior as a whole. Do you have a problem with it? And what do y'all think is the reason for the criticism?
I don't think that he's a black quarterback that comes down to it. Aaron Rodgers celebrates, Tom Brady celebrates, but when Cam Newton does it, it's a problem. People complain. So I feel like it goes down to his race.
Yeah, I think it does have some race in there. I think people just, well, whether he's black or not, people just don't expect a quarterback to celebrate the way he does and for as long as he does. But I have no problem with it. I think he's just having fun, and the team feeds off of it. Cam's he's obviously a great leader on the field. The team's behind him in every way. They feed off his energy, and him giving the ball to the fans is great. That's awesome. Nobody ever really talks about that, and they never talk about how mature he is off the field. He's a great guy off the field. He does tons of charity work, and it really bothers me when people try to focus on the negative, which is his on-field antics, which I don't really think is the negative. I mean, if you have a problem with Cam Newton, you should look at yourself, because you have the problem.
When I look at this, I've been having a problem with this for a while. I look at it like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady's, the Joe Montanas, those are prototypical quarterbacks. People just sit back in the pocket, they throw. As you can see in every draft process, they always talk about we looking for a quarterback and just sit back in the pocket and throw. When you have something that people haven't seen yet or that's different, people usually have a problem. People don't like change. So I look at like, do I have a problem with it? Of course, but I feel like some of this Cam Newton had brought in himself. So let's be honest, like from the laptop incident, but also look at people that hasn't given him a chance to grow. When you come to the league, you're coming to the league as a rookie, so you have to get time to mature. And so I look like, yes, he made a mistake, but like it's just a new generation. I heard an interview other day from Joe Webb, a Fox commentator. Man, people used to always talk about, remember how they say how Cam Newton was on the sidelines and he had a towel soaked over his head? I asked him a question and he actually answered. He said, well, the problem was he's been used to winning his whole life. So when he was on the towel and they might be losing, he heard teammates on the sideline saying they worried about asking each other, like telling each other what they're going to do for that night, how they about to party tonight, where they're going to go bowling tonight with their friends and family or whatever. And Cam Newton was like, we just lost a game. I need y'all to stay focused. He wasn't used to the environment. So it was just part of maturity, and he's peaking at the right time. So, yeah, it's unfair. Someone was brought on him, but then again, Cam Newton would be the first one to let you know that he's come from that. He's not going to shy away from that. It made him who he was. So, yeah, definitely.
As Dedrick alluded to, Cam Newton is a black quarterback. Happy Black History Month, by the way. Cam Newton is a black quarterback, and he's going to be the subject of a lot of scrutiny by the media. He's one of a kind, he's unique, he's novel, he's something we've never seen. He's athletic, he's of formidable stature, he's almost untouchable, I've said that word before. But, I mean, he's a quarterback and doing flips for touchdowns in the end zone. Another thing, he's playing a position, a decision-making position dominated by whites throughout, Hall of Famers, John Elway, Terry Bradshaw, Brady, Manning, well, not Manning anymore, but Manning, you got Aaron Rodgers, and then you have Joe Montana, Hall of Famers, white quarterbacks. This is a black quarterback who could probably reach that same level or the potential that they've reached, and is twice as dangerous because he can run, he can jump, he can do all these things that a wide receiver or running back can do. And he's 6'6" to go along with all of those abilities. So, like I said, he's going to be the subject of scrutiny. Any black athlete who's doing big things is going to be a subject of criticism. And much props to him, but that's why so much criticism is on him.
Yeah.
I hate to make everything about race, but
Yeah, but it is about race, and it's sad because when you look at it, black quarterbacks have had, more success in the last couple years than white quarterbacks have. There's nothing anymore that you can say to make me believe or that anybody should believe that a white quarterback has any kind of superiority over a black quarterback. If anything, it's the other way around, like you were saying. Colin Kaepernick was in the Super Bowl a couple years back. Russell Wilson went to 2 in a row, and now you got Cam. So that's 4 Super Bowls in a row. You've had a black quarterback. And, back going what you were saying about Cam, he's just a passionate player. And that's what, the team feeds off of it. And he hates losing, and that's why he's so great. He's always driven, ready to win, and that's all he wants to do is win and do it the right way. And he's doing it the right way, so people just need to lay off of him.
That's a great point.
And now on to our final topic. The NBA season is nearing the All-Star break, and Steph Curry's Golden State Warriors are 44-4 and on pace to break the Michael Jordan-led 95-96 Bulls regular season record of 72 wins. Do you think they'll get it done?
Personally, I want them to get it done. I really want them to get it done, but do I believe that it will happen? No. I'm looking on the schedule right now. They all have the rest of the season left. Right now, they're 44-4. They have 34 games left in the season. They have the Oklahoma City Thunder 3 more times. They have the LA Clippers 2 times, and they have the San Antonio Spurs just 1 time. So to tie the record, they only can lose 6 games. To beat the record, they need 5 games. Also, Steph Curry is dealing with a shin injury that he's been playing through all season. The doctors told Steph Curry that if you could take 4 weeks off, it gives you time to heal it. But we know Steph Curry, he's not going to just stop on his team. He's going to play through it. So I think they're going to clinch the #1 seed. I think they want it, but it'll be so close. It's kind of like how Carolina Panthers was. Do you want to go undefeated but not be healthy into the season, into the playoffs, or would you like to go in the postseason and be healthy and go win another NBA championship? And I think they're going to look long term. It's going to be real close. They might not even win might not even get that far. So I got the Golden State Warriors not beating the Bulls record this year.
I think the Warriors are going to beat the Bulls record just because they're on pace. They have a better pace at this point than the Bulls did in that year. 44-4. The Bulls didn't reach that mark, and they've got Steph Curry, who is, in my opinion, the best player in the league. He surpassed LeBron James in that regard. He's the reigning MVP, and he wants it. He said it the other day on Mike and Mike that he wants it. He wants this record, and the team follows him, so they're going to go after it. And they're by far the best team in the league. They blew out the Spurs, who people were saying was the second best team in the league, by 30. They were up 43 on the Cavs on the road. So I just don't see anything getting in this team's way, other than injuries, which I hope they stay healthy because I really like this team, and I want to see them in the finals again.
That's a good question. I would say they're going to win 70. They will win 70.
So you don't have them beating the Bulls record?
They won't beat the Bulls record. They may tie it. At the max, 73. Actually, no, 72 at the max. At the max, they're going to tie it.
Okay.
But I believe they'll definitely win 70 games. Yeah, because they're 44-4. That means they played 48 games. And in the regular season, it's 82, so they have 34 left. So they'd have to lose 6 more games in 34. I mean, yeah, they can tie it. But they're going to win 70. The 2 games they beat San Antonio. I thought San Antonio was going to beat them, but I mean that game might have been fixed. But we're not going to get into that. When they beat the Cavs by 43.
They were up by 43 at one point.
They were up by 40. They beat them by like 34 or something. That was definitely fixed. I think that was a scheme to get Blatt out, but we can save that for another episode.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Now, let's speak on that. I want to hear that too.
Okay, Blatt leaves. Tyronn Lue comes in. Now all of a sudden, fast-paced offense. I don't think they've lost too many since Tyronn Lue's come in.
Yeah, but see, I think Blatt should have gotten fired. That team was, even though they made it to the finals last year, that still wasn't. They weren't playing up to their potential. He wasn't really using Kevin Love. He wasn't getting the most out of the big 3. So I think Blatt being fired was just they showed that they couldn't play with the Warriors under Blatt's system. And they exposed that, and that was the last straw. So Blatt's gone. I don't think there's any kind of conspiracy there.
I looked up a few videos. It looked as if they were playing like slouch against Like some of the teams they
They're down
lost
by
to.
40,
Yeah, they weren't at first.
Look,
They came out
okay.
strong, and the Warriors hit them right in the face, and they were up 12-2 within the first minute. So
I'm not discrediting the Warriors' greatness, and they're kind of overrated. But I'm not discrediting the Warriors' greatness. But when Tyronn Lue came on the scene, now they're averaging like over 100 points a game, like somewhere 110, 111.
Now.
But the league is about
It's more
the league is about
fast-paced now.
adjustments. The league is about adjustments. When David Black came in the league, they were winning a lot. If you don't remember, they was winning a lot. Teams adjusted to them, and now everybody talking about they need to change. So Tyronn Lue, he's the head coach right now, and they're going full speed, and they're going averaging. They change their tempo up, going more fast pace, but also at the same time, teams are able to switch up and be able to adjust to them. So I feel like that will come down to it. But yeah, I don't have the Golden State Warriors beating. I got them close, but I don't have them beating the Chicago Bulls.
I'm going to throw one more question out there. Cavs have all their pieces playing at their full potential and lose by 30-something to the Warriors?
they weren't playing at their full potential. That's what I'm getting at.
I
At their full potential, they don't lose to the Warriors by 30. They
just played like crap that day.
They were never at their full potential under David Black. He had Kevin Love out on the perimeter shooting threes when he's one of the best post players in the game. You just can't have that. And then Tyronn Lue, he's coming in here, he's making changes. He's listening to LeBron, which LeBron's one of the smartest players in the league. He's honestly the coach and the GM of that team, but
and the owner of the team.
And the owner, yeah, but LeBron knows what to do. Tyronn Lue's listening. Tyronn Lue's a smart player. He coached under Doc Rivers, and so Tyronn Lue is the right man for that job. And they just couldn't compete with the Warriors, and that's what it's about. Because odds are they're going to face the Warriors in the finals. So they were looking ahead to facing the Warriors, and they couldn't beat the Warriors with Blatt's system, with Blatt as coach.
How you feel, Dave?
I think that the Warriors, they're not going to beat the record. It's just too many games they have to play. They barely beat the Sixers the other day, and that was on the buzzer beater. And they have the worst record in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, true. I remember that.
So I feel like they'll win. They'll probably lose like 15 games. It might be an injury happening the next week, 2 weeks. You don't know injuries that can happen. They can have shooting slumps, and you just don't know.
The Warriors are going to get the record. I just think they're going to get the record. Injuries aside, they get the record just because they're by far the best team in the league. They proved that when they beat the Spurs by 30 and the Cavs by 30.
I agree they're the best team by far in the league. I also have them win the NBA championship, but just waking up every game, being consistent every game. Can you do it every game? Like he said, everybody know the Warriors. If it came down to one game, the Warriors would blow the 76ers out, but it's come about waking up every game, being prepared for every game. And can you do that for the rest of the season? And like I told you, I feel like it might come down to injuries or it might come down to seating position and health. If they stay healthy, and like you said, Steph Curry said on Mike, if they stay healthy and they want the record, I feel like they'll get it. But I feel like it's more not if they can get it, but if they healthy enough to get it.
Also, you have other teams trying harder to stop them from breaking the record also once after the All-Star break.
But I think they already get every team's best shot just because everybody knows they're the best team in the league and they've got the best record in the league and they won the championship last year. It's just I just don't see them not getting the record. I really don't. This team loves playing. They play a fun style. They love playing with each other. And they just love winning. Like they're addicted to winning. I think it's like the Panthers. Steph and Cam are friends, but they both lead in the same way. They do it. They have fun, and they're out there. They're cocky. They're kind of cocky, but not really in a bad way. It's confidence. Yeah. And their teams are confident, and I think they're both going to do. Panthers win the Super Bowl. Warriors will get the 73 wins.
Hey, before we go, I just want to throw out this idea. There was a rumor that came out today saying that Kevin Durant is heavily thinking about going to the Golden State Warriors in the offseason, and Golden State Warriors are the front runner. How y'all feel about that?
It's not going to work.
I wouldn't want to see KD on the Warriors. I feel like it'd be – I want to see KD win one on his own. Like, if he joins the Warriors, he's just going to be another piece. I think KD can be the number one piece on a championship team, and he's not going to be if he goes and plays with Steph. I want to see competitiveness in the league. I want to see KD have that fire and want to go after Steph and want to beat Steph, want to beat LeBron. So I don't want him to be on the Warriors.
I don't think it will work just because there'll be 4 All-Stars on one team, and all of them can't score the ball like they want to. They already have Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry in the All-Star game, so adding Durant would just mess things up.
Well, that does it for this episode of Second Take. Once again, I'm Matt Parmesano here with
Darren Eastman.
Desert Grums.
And Demetrius Dillard.
We thank you all for watching and wish you a happy Super Bowl Sunday.